If you struggle to meditate, the problem probably isn't what you think it is. This episode is about the 5 hindrances, ancient Buddhist teachings that explain exactly why it can be hard to meditate and what to do about it. Please go ahead and hit subscribe. When I first started meditating, I honestly thought that there was something wrong with me, and perhaps you've been there, and if so, please leave a comment. I would sit there, breathe, do precisely what the books told me to do, and within seconds my mind would vanish. I would find myself craving something, anything, food, pop, any distraction, or I'd be irritated, restless, or just straight up confused, wondering why I couldn't get the hang of something that other people seem to make look so easy and so peaceful. I'd think, maybe this meditation thing just isn't for me. Maybe I'm just not wired for it. I'm a metalhead after all. I grew up in chaos, and here I am, trying to do something designed for monks in caves. But I kept coming back, because I knew underneath my personal struggles, something in me needed meditation. I just didn't know how to meditate through all the resistance. Well, then one day I came across these Buddhist teachings called nivarana, the 5 hindrances, and I realized that my struggles were not personal failings. They were patterns, predictable ones, universal ones, and suddenly I realized that I wasn't broken after all. I'd been bumping into the same ancient hurdles that every meditator meets. That realization alone changed everything for me. So if meditation feels hard for you, let me show you the map to an easier way to meditate. I'm going to discuss the 5 hindrances, and the first one is craving. Technically, this is sensual desire, but it's not always about sex or food. It's about the pull towards anything that feels better than the present moment. You sit down to meditate, and your mind immediately races, and it starts saying, hey, wouldn't it be great to go and grab a snack right now? Or let's replay that fantasy from last night. And here's the thing. This craving shows up not because you're bad at meditation. It shows up because you're avoiding. Because something deeper is trying to surface. And craving is your nervous system's way of saying, let's not go there. It's a survival tactic, but it splits the mind. You stop being present, and meditation becomes a war between where you are and where your mind wants to escape to. So how do you meditate with that? Well, you start by seeing it and naming it. Say, craving is here. You don't have to kill it. You just notice it. That alone will weaken the grip of craving. And over time, that noticing will become a power that will train your mind to stay. Honestly, one of the best meditation tips for beginners is just to start labeling things. Now, here's the second one. Ill will. The resistance, the tension. You sit down and suddenly you hate the sound of the fridge buzzing away in the background. Or you think of someone who pissed you off. Or worse, you turn that aggression inward. You get irritated at yourself for even struggling in the first place. You want to punch your own thoughts in the face. This used to come up for me as this tight, hot coil around my chest. I'd be trying to calm down, and every small disruption would feel like sabotage. But the truth is, meditation doesn't mean that you always feel 100% peaceful. Sometimes it means that you meet what is not peaceful. When you're in a state of ill will, your whole body tightens, your focus narrows, you start resisting the present moment instead of resting in it. Now, the antidote to this is gentleness. Let yourself see it. Anger is here, say to yourself. Sometimes breathe directly into it. Sometimes you can shift into a loving kindness practice or something like that. Not for a fake blissfulness, but just to soften the grip, to let your heart open back up even just a little. Now let's move on to sloth and torpor. This one's tricky because it feels like calmness, but it's not. It's this dull, heavy fog that's creeping in. You're not resting, you're drifting, you lose track of time, and your mind starts to blur. Now this one hits people especially hard if they're burnt out. If you're exhausted from stress or trauma, stress or trauma, it makes sense that your body wants to shut down the second you go still. I see this a lot in people who are using meditation for anxiety and overthinking. They're tired, and meditation gives the body permission to drop its guard. But instead of presence, they sink into sleepiness, which perhaps is why so many people use meditation for sleep. Now here's what I do when this happens. I open my eyes, I sit taller, I breathe more full bodily. I focus on something more stimulating, such as a candle flame or the sound of birdsong. If it's really strong, I get up and I'll walk mindfully. Sometimes that's the practice. Sometimes you don't want to meditate sitting down and being still. Sometimes the best meditation you can do is some mindful movement. Then there's restlessness and worry. That buzzing energy, the twitching knee, the mental to-do list, reliving that conversation that you regretted from 2014. You know what I mean. Now this one is loud. It makes you want to get up, to check your phone, to adjust your posture 100 billion times. It makes you think, I can't do this. I need to get out of this. But again, this doesn't mean that you're failing. None of this means that you're failing. It means you're finally showing up and slowing down enough to notice the static. Now, when this one occurs, I ground myself. I'll bring my attention to my feet and to my sitting muscles, to my spine, and I'll use a phrase like, just this one breath. Not forever, just this one breath. And when the thoughts come flooding back in, I don't push them away. I let them roll on past like wind through trees. They're not the problem. Thoughts are part of the weather, and you don't have to control the weather to sit outside. Although it would be good if you could. And then, finally, there's doubt. So this one hurts the most because doubt often sounds like the truth. It says this isn't working, or maybe meditation just isn't for you. And there's aspects to doubtful thoughts that can seem very real and very truthful. It can almost sound as though your doubt is trying to advise you. Now, I used to hear that voice loud and clear in my head, and it told me that I'm too emotional, I'm too much of a mess to get into meditation. It said meditation was for calm and spiritual people, not for me, not for a British metalhead who comes from a tumultuous background. But I kept meditating. And now 20 years later, do you know what? I still get doubt. But the thing is that now I don't listen to the doubt. I let the doubt play off over there. I let those thoughts of doubt just occur just right over there while I'm here, and I just let them play on by. So here's what all of this points to. The fix isn't getting rid of the hindrances. The fix is learning to accept the hindrances and to sit with them, learning to meet them like they are old familiar guests, which they will be if you've been meditating for a long time, because these hindrances will continually come back. But stay even while they're there. And that is the practice. That is the heart of meditation. If meditation were really, really, really easy, it would also be really, really, really pointless. The point of meditation is that you sit still and you have peacefulness and calm despite the fact that all that crap's going on in your mind. Because that makes you be able to stay still and to stay peaceful while your mind isn't perfect, which is so much more powerful. That's also why you hear a lot of the times, or at least I do, as a meditation teacher, people go to Vipassana retreats and other meditation retreats, and it's fantastic. They're so calm. No, you're so calm. You're at a retreat by a beach, living this perfect holiday lifestyle away from all stress. You wouldn't even need the meditation part to feel calm, right? And then those people come back and meditate again in their normal life, and suddenly it's so hard. Yeah, it is hard to meditate when things aren't perfect, but it is the point to meditate when things are not perfect. Because then, when you meditate when things are not perfect, you train your mind to be still and to be peaceful while all that crap is going on. And that is the point. Now know this, it doesn't matter what technique you do. If you do Vipassana meditation, you do a guided meditation on YouTube, you use meditation for anxiety, whatever it is, you're still going to come across all these issues. Don't try and run away from them. They are just stuff that's going to happen. Just do what you're doing anyway, regardless of the hindrances. When you learn to do that, then you'll know how to meditate properly. Thank you for joining me for this guide to overcoming struggles with meditation, and particularly using the 5 hindrances of Buddhism. I hope you found this helpful. If you would like to come and meditate with me, or if you would like a ton of free content that will really help you with all of this, just visit thedailymeditation.com. Just go to Google, search for thedailymeditation.com. Bob's your uncle, there you go. All right, cheers, my dears. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.